What is up, guys? Kempo back here. I'm on the new phone finally. I had a little bit of a break because I've been on holidays down at Franklin River, spending a lot of time with my wife, and it's been absolutely magical. And to be honest, I did a lot of reading whilst I was down there, some comics reading, but the rereads. Actually, no, I reread The Dark Knights of Steel Volume 1. I've just got Volume 2 finally, and I'm going to be doing a review on that at some point. But I got Absolute Batman number 2, and I heard Absolute Wonder Woman's out, so I'm going to get that. So I'm thinking I might just wait till I've read all of Absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and then go through that run. But in the meantime, the video I wanted to come back with was Fury Usyk 2. This time, instead of a prediction, I'm gonna do a tactics review or tactics overview. Something I've never done before. But I am not to my own horn, but I am a boxing coach. Nowhere near professional or anything, but this is just what I think as a fan, and what I've seen, and what I coming from an outside point of view. But you start off with, actually, before we get into it, the ride of season, Turkey Usyk has done an amazing job. No matter what anyone says, I think boxing's back on the map because of him the last couple of years. It's good for these big events because they're just early Sunday morning for me. It's actually great. It's absolutely amazing, and he puts on the big fights. It's exactly what boxing should be at this point. I love it. The promo looks incredible. It's just, I mean, Turkey Usyk, love you, dude. You've done well. But okay, what I'm going to get into real quick with the first fight, it was, the first fight was incredible. Early this year, I watched it with my dad. I was looking forward to this fight for ages, long time. And I was actually rooting for Usyk. I was a Fury fan, but the way Fury was acting last couple of years kind of put me off him, and I became more of an Usyk fan. I think I first started hearing about him really was before the first AJ fight. So I'm going to put you on here, the first AJ fight. And to be honest, I hadn't heard too much of him before, but then at that point I did a bunch of research on him, watched his cruiserweight come up and the Tony Bellew fight, and I was hooked. And his personality, such a nice guy, and honestly, incredible dude. So I wasn't rooting for it because I still really liked AJ, but I was like, this guy could be a problem for AJ. Oh, don't mind the haircut. I'm getting a haircut soon. Anyway, so I looked into him, and so by the time he got to the Fury fight, and he just wanted to fight. He said, look, I'll take whatever pay. I don't care about that. I care about winning those belts. And that's why I thought he was amazing. So I was rooting for Usyk. So I watched it with my dad. I scored each round on my phone, which is kind of the thing I love doing now with the big fights, is just scoring through my phone. Because I find a lot of the time, especially with the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, is the commentators get in your head about who's winning and who's not, and it's absolute insanity. Because I scored the Manny Serrano Taylor Taylor fight, and I had Katie Taylor winning by a fair few rounds. So this is why I think if you can, score your own rounds, because don't listen to the commentators. If you actually watch the fight, if you think that person landed better punches, controlled the space, then they've probably won the round. The commentators aren't always right. So anyway, I was scoring the rounds for the first Usyk Fury fight, and I actually had Usyk winning by at least 3 rounds, I think. Usyk, to me, there was a lot of close rounds, don't get me wrong, but I do think Usyk was winning majority of them. I think Fury only won, for me, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. And I think Usyk won 1, 2, 3, got the big knockdown, winning number 8, and then the last 2 rounds was debatable, but I still gave Usyk 11 and 12. But anyway, I still had Usyk winning by at least a couple of rounds. And so I was a bit like, so I thought the right man won, and I was very happy. I did put money on split decision. So now I've gone through all that. What did I think they did well? I think Usyk, what he did well, he started off with the pace, even though I did say to my dad, he looks slower than he usually does. He did come out a bit slower than he usually does, but then once he got warmed up, he kept the pace and he slowly turned it up more and more. He found the gaps. He was in and out. He was the faster, he was more active fighter. He managed to really tire Fury out, and he used his low guard against him. Fury's low guard against him, because that's how he landed the big shot. Eventually, once he found the shots in the mid-range, he stayed there because he knew the openings there, and that's where you saw the hands drop for Fury, and he landed that cross and hook. It was incredible. And from there, his confidence just grew and grew. So the way he managed to get in and out, find Fury's tendencies, the feints, he managed to overwhelm him with the pressure. And I think that was Usyk's best part of his game. And I think that's what ultimately did really well. Fury, what he did really well when he was winning the rounds, his jab was fantastic. People always say Fury needs to be the bigger man, get in there, bully him around. And while I do think there's elements of that is true, I don't think that's the way to go. Because you're gonna get tired out very quick. Usyk's quick. He knows how to weather the storm against the big guys. He versed Daniel Dubois, he versed AJ. He almost likes it if you're trying to bully him, because he knows how to weather the storm. He knows how to get past. He's going to tire you out. But what I do think Fury did really well was his jab with those middle rounds. The jab and like a lot of flick jabs, moving around the outside, and then controlling the middle space when he could. And with the jabs, finding those big shots, like those uppercuts that landed, is because those jabs really stifled Usyk from imposing his will. And also what Fury did really well is his will to fight. Like when he got knocked down, got up, and he kept coming. Like that's just a Fury style. It's amazing. So what do I think these two guys need to do different? I'll start off with Usyk, because Usyk really, he needs to do he almost needs to do the same thing, but I feel like he needs to start off quicker, because I think those early rounds, although I scored him from home, from there, you can, unless you got the wrong judges, I don't think you don't want them to give him a reason to give him those rounds. So I would say Usyk needs to get in there, control those first few rounds, really set those feints up, really find those openings quickly, and weather whatever storm comes at him. So find that mid-range. So almost do this similar thing he did last time. Start a bit quicker, making sure you get past that jab quick. You need to find those openings quickly. Otherwise, Fury is just going to grow more confident each time when he's landing those jabs. But like I said, he needs to do mostly the same thing. Start quicker. Make sure he doesn't get, like, not saying Usyk was lazy at any time, but making sure you don't give Fury any rounds. So you need to make sure you win every round, because they'll find a way to argue it each time. I found when even Usyk's inside fighting was incredible. So if you can't get in that mid-range and inside, if you stay on the out, well, I mean, you could stay on the outside, he can fight that way, but then you're finding Fury's jab. So do pretty much what you did last time, but start quicker. You need to get in there quickly. Fury, I think what he needs to change up for this time, he needs to establish that jab as soon as he can. Establish that jab, dance around, move around as much as you can, because that's how he was winning the rounds. He was using that jab, setting up those big shots, nice and quick. I would say keep his guard a little higher, but that's just not his style. He won't do that. Maybe even just keep the right hand up. I think that right hand needs to be glued to his face, because that's how Usyk landed that left hook. So he needs to keep that right hand glued to his face, only using it for the big shots. If he keeps it down, you're inviting Usyk to come in, but get that jab in nice and fast. Honestly, non-stop jab, fending off as much as he can, keeping that distance control. And obviously every time he gets in, wrap him up each time. If you can get in there and control the center of the ring, that would be very good as well. But if you do get pushed back, obviously do your dancing around Fury style, establish that jab, big hooks, big long hooks, big uppercuts. Make sure that right hand is glued to your face. Obviously this is all coming from an amateur coaching boxer. So don't take everything with me that I say is gospel. These are just small things I've seen, but honestly, this fight is one of the most anticipated fights for me. I think these guys are incredible to watch. This is where boxing heavyweights are all about, right here. The best of the best. So I'm excited for this. Thank you as always, guys. It's good to be back, and I'll catch you in the next one.